Hello, this is Critical Information Bureau coming from Hull, England. This is Eyong Akumbe speaking. We are the people that bring you the truth, nothing but the truth. Because the truth is what is going to set you free. We don't accept donations. Please make all your donations to your beloved interim government. Now, I would like to look at I think it's last week, I saw on social media that Chris Ano had an interview with a certain European lady, a white lady. And some of the things that came from there is, to say the least, completely shocking. There is what I call the Beti Bulu Ewondo machinery, which is basically the using bribery and corruption to completely mess up this struggle in the way that they are the best can, only them can do it. Absolute corruption masters. They cannot fight, but what they've done is they've penetrated in a way that we have to be very careful with this group of people. They are more corrupt, more dangerous than some of you will ever believe. Now, there's some very interesting characters in this machinery. Now you have Ayabacho, you have Ellie Smith. Now, whether you like it or not, Ayabacho is working for La Republique. You have Ellie Smith. This is an interesting character. Now, Ellie Smith, at the beginning of this struggle, I was listening to Ellie Smith on television. I posted some of his videos on television because he was actually fighting for us. He was actually not fighting, but he was actually supporting the struggle. In fact, it was Ellie Smith who first predicted that this could become an armed struggle. But I'm hearing how Ellie Smith is involved now. Do you see? Ellie Smith is now involved in killing Southern Cameroon children. There's a group called Mika, and there are other NGOs. Listen to this. There are NGOs. This is the problem with African people, right? We like to say Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. But when there's money involved, Black life does not matter to us. There's a group called Mika, and there are other groups or NGOs working with Mika, and their job is to lure fighters, little boys with guns, or hopefully they call them, they have guns, in from the forest, to lure them and promise them that they will have a better life. All right, this is a completely unbelievable. Then it seems as if somebody is buying the arms from the DDR, from the boys who are now in DDR, or the boys that have been lured, the fighters that have been lured. They then buy the guns from them. This could be guns that have been provided by the interim government. They will buy these guns from them. These guns then go back to the B. They actually pay them for the guns. Do you see how when the people are using their money? They pay them for the guns, and then these guys are quick to sell it and take the money. And then they take those guns and they sell it now to people like Joe Ayaba's own groups, maybe Atanganji Boys, all of these other corrupted groups. So this is mafia of the highest order, absolute mafia. Okay, so that is how this. There are NGOs now, people in Cameroon who call themselves NGOs, who are now getting money from La Republique. Plenty of brown envelopes are being passing around, and all they do now is go and grab little boys and saying these are Amba fighters, and they bring them and give them to La Republique. Now, the sad fact is, if there's money involved, some of these boys might not even be fighters. This could be just be somebody living his life in his village, and then somebody will come and grab him and say, just say that you are DDR. Yeah, just say that you are DDR. Okay. And what we'll do is we are going to give you a better life. Some of them might admit to it, and they're just getting killed. Now, let's look at what seems to have transpired in that conversation between Chris Ano and this lady. Now, there seemed to be a place in Tole, I think it's called the Indawara in Tole, tea plantation. Now, I am not very good with details, but there is a place in Tole right now, which is like a place where these our fighters that have been coaxed, deceived. Some of them are not even fighters. They are taken to this place in truckloads. These are probably so-called interrogation centers. In there, you have bees that are armed. Try and imagine this, okay? So the interrogation center has, actually before you get in, you have armed bees waiting there. These are the boys who are being taken to this Indawara tea plantation. Okay, these have been coaxed by Cho Ayaba, Ellis Smith, and people like Mika groups. All these NGOs are running out there now, trying to talk to our fighters. They're probably not armed. They're not using force. Try to convince them, if you join, if you come to our DDR center, we'll give you a good job, we'll give you money, we'll buy the guns away from you, blah, blah, blah. And some of these boys, as I said, might not even they might not even be fighters, but they're being deceived because they might be paying them by the amount of people they bring. So if the government is saying to you, each time you bring every 10 boys, you get $1 million. For every 10 boys that you bring into the DDR center, you get $1 million. They will just go and grab anyone from the street and just say that you are part of the Amber fighter and you don't want to be Amber fighter anymore, and they will bring them in. They'll just be bringing children. Now, anyway, when they get to this place, apparently, this lady managed to get into this Indawara tea plantation by hook or by crook. She got in there. And what she could see was piles of mutilated bodies. So when they take them into this Indawara plantation, where it is supposed to be an interrogation center, detox center, they are basically killed. Many don't make it. Basically, according to that lady, a lot of them don't make it. When they go there, they don't make it back. That means they get killed. As a matter of fact, I can't see any of them surviving. All right? There are piles of mutilated bodies that was discovered there. The stench around Tole of dead Ambazonian forces who are being killed by La République. Just free killing. They just go and deceive them. That, excuse me, just join us. All you have to do is just admit that you are an Amber fighter, and then come to ours. We'll take you somewhere where you're going to be given money. You are going to be given a good life. We are going to buy your weapons. They tell them all these lies, and these young men are deceived. Some of them, as I said, they are deceived, and they are taken into this tea plantation in this Indawara place, and they are killed. This is, as far as I know, this seems to be what came out from that discussion between between Chris Ano and this white lady. That story, I was almost disturbed when I heard the story. I think we need to be concerned about this. I don't know what should happen now with that plantation in Tole, but the interim government should have a particular policy towards that place. Now, If there's a place where Southern Cameroon children are being taken and being massacred and being killed, and their bodies are smelling all over the area, then the time has come not to just talk about it, but for the interim government to take very serious measures against that place. As a matter of fact, there should be no trucks traveling in Southern Cameroon again. No military trucks. As a matter of fact, as an emergency action, it might be sensible in Fako right now to stop all vehicles, even for 1 week. In solidarity and to honor and respect those children who have been deceived to go into this Indawara place and been killed. We don't know whether it's 10, we don't know whether it's 50, we don't know whether it's 1,000,000, we don't know. But this is an extermination center, a concentration camp. Don't underestimate the people from the tribe of Beti Bulu Ewondo. They've tasted power and they are prepared to do some of the most disturbing, ridiculous, some of the most unbelievable things to stay in power. They are now running a concentration camp in Tole. According to Chris Ano, according to the lady that he was interviewing at the time, I don't know who the lady is, and I don't know the details of that story, there is a concentration camp inside Fako. This is unbelievable. And Cho Ayaba is right in the center of it. Cho Ayaba is taking Fako children and killing them, and the body is dumped in the Indawara concentration camp. Ellie Smith is aware of this. The group Mika is a well-known group that is going and luring the boys to come and be killed. There are also other NGOs. Some could be owned by Southern Cameroonians. Some could be owned by people like My Country People. Some could be owned by Francophones. They are running around and deceiving little boys with guns. Even the ones who don't have guns, to come into this center where they are massacred, shot. Their bodies are not even buried, according to this lady. They are dumped in open graves, and the stench is all over the town of Tole. I have no reason to doubt this story. This is a fact. We are now witnessing a concentration camp. Now, I don't even know what to say, but if you had your own drones, interim government, you would simply fly there and see for yourself. But you don't, because some of you are very proud and you're not going to do it, because maybe the idea did not come from you yourselves. But while we follow your instructions and listen to the things that you say, it's time you also listen to other people. Okay? What is happening in Tole is not acceptable. Before I make any recommendation, this is our Critical Information Bureau, before we make any recommendation, the only thing which I say to this is it's time for the interim government to act. And if they don't know what to do, it's time for them to ask. Because this cannot go on. What I just heard, Chris Ano have that discussion he had with that white lady. Or was she American or European? I don't know where she's from. But that is immaterial. It's so disturbing that I am actually shocked that we, the people of Southern Cameroon, are not even talking about it every single day. I am shocked. But there are means and ways to stop this. And we know how to do it. We have to give the interim government the opportunity to take action now to stop the concentration camp that's going on in Tole right now. Action to stop Cho Ayaba and Ellie Smith for carrying out this terrible act. Action to stop Mika and all the other NGOs for luring Southern Cameroon children into that Indawara tea plantation and killing them. The time has come for the interim government to act. And if they don't know what to do, it's time for them to ask. This is Critical Information Bureau coming from All England. Eyong Akumbe speaking. Until next time, stay safe.